Morning, everybody, and welcome, Chief Constable, to you and your team to this first meeting in public for the Policing Board of 2025. It seems like an absolute age since our last meeting in December, and as we all know, a lot has happened in policing since then, and indeed a lot has happened in the whole world since then that has the potential of making many changes to all of our lives. I have a range of issues to discuss, and I will keep my opening remarks very brief, and I know, Chief Constable, you'll be doing the same. I'm going to open with recruitment, and that's good news that the campaign for police officers and call handlers are now open. As a board, we fully support this campaign and urge people from all walks of life to step forward and make a positive change to policing. Through the series of real engagement and listening events known as real events that are held, there has been a really positive engagement through outreach programs to people and individuals across many sections of our communities. Good discussions around policing issues have taken place, and could I thank everybody who has turned up to those events, attended those events, and those who have supported, including members of this board who have attended many of those events, so thank you. Regrettably, as you know, Chief Constable, the campaign was subject to online racist and sectarian commentary, which was very strongly condemned. Our police service must be representative and must reflect the makeup of the community that it serves, and we must call out behaviours that are not appropriate, however they manifest. That leads me into the Power to Change campaign, which was launched last week. A campaign focusing on the need to challenge and change attitudes towards women. There is now a very welcome momentum and commitment within government and within communities and wider society to tackle the underlying issues which contribute to violence against women and girls. And in the same way that racism, sectarianism, and indeed all hate crime must be called out, and so too must misogynistic behaviours and attitudes. I'm going to move on to now the McCulloch Review. The important McCulloch Review, an interim progress report, has been published by Angus McCulloch KC, and thank you, Chief Constable, for sharing that with us. We understand and we have been advised that the delivery date is not going to be 31 March. So as a board, we obviously want to give Mr McCulloch adequate time to conduct his review, and we'd welcome an update on a realistic date for delivery of that review. As you will also be aware on this issue, it is now subject to an inquiry by the Northern Ireland Affairs Committee, and this board has made a submission to that committee. The important issue of resourcing remains on the table. And just this week, we have written to the Justice Committee, who are currently scrutinising the budget for this current year, 25-26. We also provided a further response to the follow-up inquiry being conducted on the challenges facing public sector funding in Northern Ireland. It is a highly improved financial picture for policing, but there are still many, many pressures. And with a 5-year policing plan coming into play at the start of April, for a service operating on a 1-year budget situation, it remains grossly impractical and totally nonsensical. I want to move on to the review of the Northern Ireland Policing Board. The Justice Minister published the independent review, and the board has had sight of that. We've had some initial discussions on the findings, but we will be taking further time to discuss the review with yourself as well as the Justice Minister and other stakeholders, and we will be considering next steps, and we look forward to your input on that regard. As you know, I always like to finish on a positive, and this week I want to talk about the officers who selflessly rescued people from the house fire in Dungannon. They are to be commended, stepping forward and saving lives. I never cease to be humbled by the very hard work and bravery of the officers of the police service. Also, I would like to pay tribute to the PSNI officers and staff who worked through the recent storm, and I'm going to try and pronounce this, Eowyn, to establish public safety along with emergency services and organisations. And I want to particularly call out ACC Beck, well done for leading the operation in such a professional way, and thank you. So now, Chief Constable, over to you if we can have some very brief remarks and then we'll move to questions.